Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we will be learning about the nonlinear regression. This is the fifth part of the series. Let's get ahead. So what is nonlinear regression? We can say that nonlinear regression is a form of regression analysis in which observed data are modeled by a function. Now this function is a nonlinear combination of the parameters that are the model parameters. So nonlinear regression is a form of regression analysis in which observational data are modeled by a function. Function is a nonlinear combination of the model parameters. Now these parameters depend on one or more independent variables. The data is made to fit by a method which is called as successive approximation. So that is the method used for nonlinear regression. Nonlinear regression is a form of regression analysis in which data is fit into a model and then expressed as a mathematical function. So data is fit to a model and then expressed as a mathematical function. Consider, we saw that simple linear regression was a straight line, like y is equal to mx plus b, whereas nonlinear regression must generate a line, typically like a curve. The goal of the model is to make sum of squares as small as possible. So that is the goal of the model. What is the sum of squares? This sum of squares is a measure that tracks how much observations vary from the mean of the data set. The smaller the sum of these squared figures, the better the function fits to the data points in the set. We saw that, now we see here that nonlinear regression uses logarithmic functions, trigonometric functions, exponential and other fitting methods. So what are the types of methods? There are logarithmic functions, then comes the trigonometric functions or the exponential functions. These are all the functions that are used by nonlinear regressions. And what are they? These are the mathematical functions used. There are various models. Now we will be seeing three models. First one is asymptotic regression or the growth model. Second one is the logistic population growth model. And the third one is asymptotic regression decay model. We can see these are the expressions that are used to show them. But before applying any of these models, there are some assumptions that need to be taken. There are two assumptions: that the data level must be quantitative, the categorical variables must be coded as binary variables. We saw that there are two categories: either there is classification in terms of categories or it is a real valued. But in case of this nonlinear regression, the categorials must be coded as binary variables. And the next one is the value of coefficient can only be correctly interpreted only if the correct model is applied. Therefore, it becomes very important to identify the useful models. And now coming to basic terminologies of nonlinear regression. First one is the model expression. Model expression denotes the model used. Okay, model expression denotes the model used. So our first task is to create a model. The selection of this model is based on the theory and past experiences in the field. Second is the parameters. Parameters are those which are estimated. Example, we can take it as in logistic nonlinear regression, the parameters were B1, B2, B3. As in logistic, these are the parameters B1, B2, B3, so that. Then the third one is the segmented model. Segmented model is required for those models which have multiple different equations of different ranges. And lastly is the loss function. Loss function is a function which is required to be minimized. So we need to minimize this loss function. This is done by the nonlinear regression.